Hey guys, how's it going? Ghosty Rich here today, and today we're going to be installing one of these RC flashing light kits. So, let's go over what you're going to need to do so. If you go into here, this is the factory MST radio from the ready to run in a box, I guess. And down here is going to be channel 3. Good to note because we're going to need to know where channel 3 is when we go ahead and hook up our lights. And we might as well, because to tell you the truth, when you're buying cheap light controllers, it's really important you go ahead and plug these kind of things in and test them, because there's nothing worse than hooking it up and then finding out it doesn't work. So channel 3 is going to be your next plug-in from the rest, meaning there's 4. There's like battery or something, and then there's number 3, which is right after the other 2 that are plugged in. Just go ahead and plug it into number 3. And that might take a second, especially for me, because I'm not going to look directly into it. Come on. Yes, we are now into number 3, which is right here. From there, you just plug it into the side of the controller right here. As you can see, we now have our light controller plugged in. The other thing that we're going to need is here, this little button. This is your programming button. You're not going to need this in there all the time, but let's go ahead and plug in the programming button. All right, now that we got a programming button, let's go ahead and throw in some lights. As you can see here, it is explaining with different colors, which I will explain in a little bit. What it's saying on here though, really quickly, is that each color on here is not where you need to plug the color of the light in. What it's explaining to you is what color is what it does. So in some instances, it's going to say to you like, in the front, the white colors will flash, but the blues will not. Or it'll say the blues will not, well, yeah, you get it. Blues won't flash, whites will, or blues won't. And then later on, it's going to tell you later on how we program each of them. So it's important to have for your specific light controller or this one, this little piece of paper so we can program. What I want to do though, is I want to plug just a few random lights in because we need to know if this thing works. So we're gonna just plug that one in randomly. We're gonna plug in this one randomly. And I want to, once again, just make sure we have things light up. If it doesn't, well, we've got issues right away. Come on, there we go. All right, we just got 2 plugged in. We're not gonna plug in the rears yet. Let's just plug in the 2. First thing, turn on your remote. After you turn on your remote, go over here, turn on this. Okay, perfect. Oh, look at that. Now, if you want to, you could plug in to every single channel and make sure every bulb glows. I'm not too worried about that. I just wanted to make sure a couple of them glows. And so far, it looks like they do. Let's go ahead and move on. Put this off to the side. You're gonna notice you have different size bulbs depending on your kit. This one has 3mm and 5mm bulbs. If you put a lighting kit inside of your vehicle, or if you put the lights in so you can add a lighting kit, you'll notice that there are different size holes. So the white ones are usually bigger holes, and the red ones and the blue ones are for smaller holes. So if we take a look at the top of mine, if I wanted to, I can put a white, and then up here I can put a blue, or I can do white, and then these can be a yellow like turn signal. Now, you don't have to, but what you could do is, of course, have one side looks like it's turning, or whatever you want to do. With me, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to have probably white, and maybe a blue up there. Maybe I'll do yellows. I don't know yet. If I do yellows, that'll be cool too. So white, and then a yellow up here. And that'll be like a parking light. And then in the rear, I'll do red, and then I could do either blue or white in the back, so it looked like it's kind of on or reversing or whatever, really, in the end. But let's go ahead and have some fun. I'm going to choose some colors, and then I'm going to show you as I do it, and I'll talk you through it. First thing I'm going to need is my trusty glue gun. If you want to, you can use something more permanent, but the cool thing is if you use a glue gun, you can swap the light bulbs in and out as you please. So let's go ahead and do the rears first. Again, I know I have a bigger spot and a smaller spot. So the bigger spot is going to get these 5mm light bulbs, which are the bigger ones. How you can tell? Well, they're bigger, and they say 5mm in this kit on it, and they say what color they are. If I pick up this blue one right here, it'll say blue and 3mm. So, pretty simple stuff, right? Let's go ahead and shove the white in this hole. Again, they fit pretty tight, so you can just slip them in and kind of press them in. And you can just hold them there, and then like I said, you can tack it with glue. Now the other thing you could do if you were worried about how it's going to look, go ahead and plug in the controller to the car, and then you can have all the lights lit up as you do it. I'll leave it up to you. I don't mind because I already know my glue patterns, and I already know that if I don't like something, I'm gonna swap it out. So again, as I hold it, see if I've got enough glue going on yet. Yeah, just a little bit of hot glue. I'm just tacking it. These bulbs don't weigh anything. They're not gonna break the glue. You're only gonna break the glue seal. And I don't want to add a whole bunch and then have it be really annoying to add them later. And again, you can glue one side, then glue the next. Do whatever you want to. I've got that side in. Maybe I will tack the other side, just so it stays even. There we go. It is tacked. Let's take a look. Yep, exactly how I wanted it. Go ahead, take one more white light bulb and throw it in here. And again, the reason why we're doing white in the center holes is because they are 5mm, and it is the only size. You know what? I would probably, I'm not gonna lie, if I had some bigger, like some red ones that were that size, I'd probably just do red on all of them, but I guess these are just gonna look like reverse lights when I'm done. Can't complain. I think it's gonna look cool either way. There we go. Okay, that light bulb is in. Heck, why don't we just, I mean, we could do all the white ones first. Nah, let's do this. Okay, again, let's go ahead and put these little red ones in. And again, the red one is a smaller hole. Oh yeah, if you don't have these and your body just is straight up, you can put these little grommets. They come with the kit, and you just have to drill them out. And you can squeeze this into the body, and then you can slide your light in. Up to you. Again, they're just for different lighting. Let's go ahead and throw this red one in. Hold that there. And I'm just tacking it. I'm gonna show you my glue tacks in the end. They aren't gonna look pretty. Let's go ahead and slip all these in so that way they're done. Again, we'll do white. And then, whoa, throw that one anywhere. White and white. Maybe you're someone who likes the blue look. I know a lot of people that like the blue look, especially if you have a white body. But the problem is the blue lights are actually too small of a bulb. I mean, I guess you could adapt them, but either way, what do I know? Oh, apparently my remote battery's dying. Let's quickly turn that off. Let's go ahead and glue these lights in. Tack that one right there. Give it a second. Tack this side so it's in the exact same position. Done. That's the fun thing with glue guns. Your kicker is your breath. And again, if you put in these light bulbs and you like the colors in which you've chosen, you could, in the end, glue them in hard glue. But here's the thing. Let's say you want to replace the body and you don't want new light kits. If you go ahead and just hard glue it in, not using a glue gun, then you can't get your light kit back. I mean, you could just buy new bulbs. I'll leave it up to you. But that hard glue is just gonna be really annoying. Okay, these are our oranges. These are gonna be turn signals. So again, just take this, and the orange is going at the very top of the light, just like a factory Nissan GTR light. As he speaks out his butt, because he doesn't actually know. Of course I do. Daydreamed of the GTR, like any young boy has. If you're not daydreaming of GTRs and Lambos, you probably aren't even getting into RC. Give these a second to dry. Now, we'll have to do something with all this lighting wire. Whether you use zip ties, because that's probably the best bet. The other thing you can do is run the lights up the A-pillar. So you can actually do this. Let's see if I can show you. So again, we're talking about hot glue. Go ahead if you want to and make yourself some tacks with these wires. Just throw a little bit of hot glue going up the A-pillars, just like this. And that way it holds it there. Just make sure you don't get any glue on your windows. And if you do that, it's a nice holder for your wire. Either that or use double-sided sticky tape, do whatever you want. I'm gonna just try and, because in the end, the little receiver pack is gonna sit right here. So, let's see how much Richard can try and fail. That's a whole lot of glue. Oh, she burns. I made a nice sized glue glob right there. Oobla, it's toast. All right. Gonna have to do one more up at the top. Wow, look at that. See what I mean? Just holds it right there. Yeah, see what I mean? I made a big mess. Look at me, Mom. Holy shoot. All right, let's see. Can he hold them without burning himself? That's the question. Gonna have to get another glue stick. Just hold that for a bit, and really, I think that's gonna look sick when it's done. See if I can show you this afterwards. I wanna look out the window there and see how it looks. Ooh, that's not ready yet, Rich. So as you can see here, if we're looking at this, there's the whites and the blues. So what I want to do actually is put the two whites into the two center, and then the yellows are going to be my blue. The reason why is because that way I can select when I want these two blue ones to flash. So if we were looking at our fronts right here, we'd see the orange, and the orange is going to go into our blue slot, which is on the outsides. So one right there. Now that I know that, this white one right here can go anywhere, really, because it's not going to matter. Make sure, yep. Don't want to mess up our grounds and stuff like that, so it should only fit in one way anyway. There we go. Okay, all those ones are in. Now we go to our far side and we do the exact opposite. So again, orange on the far side. And again, I'm trying to shove it in there. Just follow the barbs. There we go. So orange is right there. And again, since I did 2 white lights, one would be here in the center. And where's my last white light? Right here. Right here. And again, you can always clean these up with zap straps afterwards. And you can also take the tags off and just leave them on. So that way I can better represent what's going on. Where it really matters more is in the rear. I'll explain to that in 1 second. So this is kind of cool. If we were looking at this, again, we have white, yellow, and red. So you need to look at these different color sequences and find out which programming sequence you're going to do. The only 2 I'm actually looking at doing, possibly, is either number 1, which is all car LED on, or 4, which is for the front car, the LED, white LED is always on. So that means these 2 white ones are always on, and then it's a misprint, but they put yellow LED is flashing, which would mean these blue ones are flashing. Anyways, and then it says for the rear, the white and yellow LEDs are flashing at the same time, and the red is flashing alternatively, meaning it's not flashing all the time at the same time. So what I want to do is on the red one, I'm going to plug in my 2 white lights, so that way the reverse lights just, I don't know, come on now and then. And then the white one, which will be flashing at its own pace, will be flashing as well, and that'll be my brake lights. So the brake lights will flash more than the reverse lights. But again, leave it up to you. That's the plan. That's how I'm going to wire mine. So again, then I know that the far channel and then the outmost channel, leave the yellow one empty because I'm not going to plug any bulb into the yellow one. Well, let's go over it. There you go. I just want to show you the glue patches. Again, I'm going to clean up any of the stray frays that you're going to see in here. But as you can see, I glued a lot more near the front tires and the rear, because the last thing you want to do is have your tire catch and then pull your wiring out. I mean, it's just the worst thing that can happen. So that's why I glued it up nice and tight and along here, and if the tire ever catches the glue, well, I just replace the glue. That's not a big deal. It would just suck if I had to resolder the wires, because then the wire is even bigger because I have to add heat shrink and all that other fun stuff. So as you can see, our wiring is done. The 2 whites in the rear are right next to each other. Then we have 2 open slots, and then we have the 2 reds in the rear, and then up front we have the yellows on the outside, 2 plugs, and then all 4 insides are all of the white lights. Now that I know I've got that, I'm going to go ahead, plug in this switch, so that way we can program it with different options, and I can show you how to do that. And we also need to connect it back into here. Now, if you want to, you can glue that so it's coming down in a certain way. I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't glue this wire, and I'll tell you why. This one you should try and bundle up in here. But what you want is, if your body flies off, you want that to have some length, or if the body jumps up, because if you don't, then it's just going to tear your whole setup you just glued in out. So I would highly suggest you don't actually do too much with this, and if you do, maybe just try and zap strap it in a way so it doesn't get caught in the wires. So just follow this and then kind of tie wrap it so that way it's just kind of on here, and then it plugs into your body. That way you have some room to lift it up and quick disconnect it if you need to. So again, with that one, don't go and glue it a whole bunch. I had plugged everything in. We'll flick that on. Take a look at that the moment you flick it on. So let's go ahead We'll sort of just line this up. Let's take a look at the rear. Looks pretty dope. I do wish I had another set of reds, but whatever. I think that looks sick. Let's go ahead and click these buttons. So if we click it once, what happens? Oh look, it's flashing. Just like it said it would. One set is flashing, one set is flashing in the rear. We click it again. See? The whites are flashing like crazy, and they're flashing differently than that. Oh wow, that's actually kind of cool too. Hey, you know, I don't actually mind that one either. That kind of looks cool. Couple stoplights, then the reverses go. Up front, it looks like you're high beaming someone to get out of the way, and the turn signal's going. And then the next option is all lights on. Perfect. So again, I do like that. I think what I'll do though is I'll reverse this white light with the yellow, so that way my turn signals flash. Those two flash together though. I think I must have missed that one up, because that one should be staying on. You know what? I think I like this one the most. I'm gonna reverse. What is going on here? Let's go ahead and take a look. I wanna see. That's such a different programming. Again, I followed what the diagram said, but see which lights, like that whole side is flashing, this side staying constant. Weird. I think I'll have to play with that and see which ones are constant, because then I can make these two stay on somehow. I'm gonna have to see if I can, because I'm guessing you're only gonna get one channel that allows you to do it, and definitely the channels do not line up with this sheet of paper, so don't even follow that. That's so trippy. But yeah, either way, I do like the look of it. I'm gonna have to play around with it. If I can find this one, I'll swap it with the yellow. So I'll swap this white with this yellow, and then my turn signals will blink. And then if we're looking back here, those two are right. I don't know, I kind of like that. That's so weird how it just keeps one light on. I kind of, like I said, I think I like that. Or do we just leave it all on? Hard choices, hard choices. So I figure let's show you the end result. I think it ended up turning out awesome. Now, I also decided, after checking this out, that I wanted to leave them all on. The reason why, I think it'd be different if you had a remote or a setup where when you turned the wheel, the left turn signal came on, or the wheel the other way, the right turn signal came on, and when you're backing up, the white lights came on. Like if I had that kind of radio system so I could control all that, 100% I'm setting that up. But I just think it'll be too distracting and all that other stuff. I mean, it just depends. This is all about what you like. And for me, I'm gonna just leave them all on. So let's give you a show. One last one. Throw this on. I'll quickly pop the body up for 2 seconds. Or maybe a little longer than 2 seconds. And we'll turn this on. And we'll finish this off. I gotta clean this up. There we go. I gotta clean up all that. Anyways, let's show you one last time. That's the rear. I really, really wish I could. I'm going to probably take a look. I want to get some reds. I want one more set of reds. And if I flip this over and around, take a look at that. I think that looks mint. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Press like if it helped you out at all, and subscribe for more.